As a fighter pilot, I saw my share of combat. As Chief of Staff, I led the Air Force during the first Gulf War, and 4 years ago, I endorsed George Bush for president. But this year, I'm voting for John Kerry. Nothing is more important to me than protecting America. John Kerry has the strength and common sense we need in a commander-in-chief, and something more, a real strategy to make America safer.
The Democratic National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
If you see news in the making, dial star CBS 4 on your T-Mobile cellular phone.
Brian Norcross is back with us. We remember another F storm that made us sweat a little bit.
And this looks like it's at least going to be like that, Floyd, in 1999. And the calculation is, if the storm were to continue, and if it were to come right here, and that's only one of a myriad of possibilities, obviously, it would be here Friday morning. So it's moving along at a good clip, and so that means that everyone really, really immediately, like right now, needs to get their brain into preparation mode, because it may have to start even to some degree tomorrow, and then you may have to be full force on Thursday, just on the unlikely possibility that it comes directly here, but it is a possibility, and it would not be a good possibility. All right, let's look outside right here. It's a hot and steamy, super tropical evening here. In the upper 80s, feels like 95. Stickiness scale is 9, super steamy, well above even normal for summer. No rain here. There's an east breeze at 15. All right, here's the real-time Doppler 4. Offshore, little showers out there and some thunderstorms later on tonight. Some of them will drift in, heavy thunderstorms over on the west coast. So night and morning showers, and then just about any time tomorrow we have a little disturbance out ahead of the hurricane coming our way. Here is our weather pattern. High pressure that we've been talking about, there it is right there. There's the circulation around the high. Thunderstorms inland off to our west and to our north. And now as we go close in, you see, by the way, some thunderstorms offshore, and we'll see some of those later on tonight. Tomorrow, steamy sunshine again, and some storms likely here and there, not every minute by any means, but some real tropical downpours we expect. And then we get down to Thursday, and the hurricane kind of comes into view here, and we begin to get in the circulation of the storm. Now, it's possible, of course, and we would all hope that the hurricane would be further north than this, but in any case, we'll be in the circulation of the storm. So breeze is increasing through the day and could shower, but Thursday we believe we would have quite a bit of time to be in preparation mode here, just in case the storm stays on a more southerly track. Here it is right now, moving to the west-northwest. This is going to be very, very close, it looks like, to the southern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. Remember, the worst of it is this very small area, and we can actually analyze with wind force 4 exactly where the worst of it is. This is it. It's the reds there. You see the reds up here in the 140-mile-an-hour range. There it is, that little part of the donut. Notice it's not on the south side right now as analyzed by the computer, but just on the north side, because the storm is moving in this direction. Over the right side with the direction of movement is where the winds stick out further and where the strongest winds are. Now, a little wider view shows you that that is keeping the strong winds well north of Puerto Rico, and as it comes this way, here are the islands here. The worst thing that could happen would be for the storm to go to the south of the islands, because then they would get that red band, and that's where the most of the damage is going to be done. Now, here's that future track again, in case you missed it at the top of the show. Wednesday, southern Bahamas, central, somewhere near the central Bahamas on Thursday, and then by afternoon Friday, according to the projection from the National Hurricane Center, somewhere in this zone here, which of course also includes us as a possibility, and again, the best idea would be out here, and the further closer it comes, the worse our weather is going to be. And yes, there is the possibility of the storm coming directly here. If it did that and it didn't slow down, it would even be here before that, but the thinking is it will slow down some. It won't maintain the 17 miles an hour. Now, here is the Thursday view of the map that I showed you a little while ago. This is the high pressure that we're going to be concerned about. How strong is it? Is it going to hold the storm to the south, or is it going to weaken? And is this stronger flow going to take over and nudge things to the north? And we just don't know the answers to all that yet. Okay, here's our forecast then tonight. Warm and humid, storms off the ocean about into 79, especially later on tonight. Sun and clouds, storms likely tomorrow, and a breeze increasing late in the day, but not anything too significant. East to southeast 10 to 15 knots tomorrow, and then becoming breezy by late in the day on Thursday especially, and late week, of course, depends on Francis. Sunday should be better. All right, we'll keep up to date from here.
All right, thank you, Brian. You know, the people in the Bahamas are much closer to this storm. The watches and warnings are already in place there, and they're down to their last 24 hours.
CBS 4's Ted Scouten filed this report from Nassau tonight.
Well, here in Nassau in the Bahamas, people are being told to prepare for the worst, but they're hoping for the best. Let me show you just a little panoramic view here of Nassau. What we're seeing over here, not many homes are boarded up at this point. Officials aren't really telling people to board up just yet, but take a look at that building right over there. It's a government building, Manny, if you can get in on that, where there are shutters up. What we have seen so far since we've been here in the very short time is that a few of the government buildings have begun to put their shutters up, but at this point, people being told that they really don't have to put their shutters up just to prepare. Right now, officials are also telling us that they're thinking that the worst part, at least for right now, is going to be in the southern end of the Bahamas chain. Right now, that's under a hurricane warning. As far as the people here in the capital, New Providence in Nassau, they're being told to watch things very closely and keep their eye very closely on the television and radio. In Nassau in the Bahamas, I'm Ted Scouten, CBS 4 News.
Okay, we'll be right back.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
Now Kerry promises.
We won't raise taxes on the middle class.
Really? John Kerry's voted to raise gas taxes on the middle class 10 times. He supported a 50-cent a gallon gas tax increase, higher taxes on middle-class parents 18 times. He voted to raise taxes on Social Security benefits. 98 votes for tax increases. There's what Kerry says, and then there's what Kerry does.
Once upon a time, there was a bear named Fred, whose best friend got sick and had to go to the hospital. Fred worried about his best friend, but soon he saw that this hospital, the Holtz Children's Hospital at Jackson, had many kind doctors and many kind nurses. They worked as a team to make Fred's best friend feel better, and that made Fred feel better too. Holtz Children's Hospital at University of Miami Jackson. We love happy endings.
Nobody, absolutely nobody gives you lower prices or greater discounts than Tamiami Chrysler Jeep.